What if the same algorithms that recommend you cat videos could also end homelessness in America's biggest cities? Crazy, right? But let's be honest, nothing else has worked so far. Homelessness in the US isn't just a problem, it's an epidemic with a knack for surviving every government plan, billionaire tweet, and nonprofit effort thrown at it. Tent cities line the streets of Los Angeles and San Francisco, like scars on a system that swore it would take care of its people. So what happens if we hand this problem to artificial intelligence? Would AI bring precision where politicians brought platitudes? Or would it just give us smarter ways to look the other way? Imagine if machine learning models understood suffering better than politicians pretending to. If you're into smart solutions that challenge the status quo, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We can't change the system without you. It's 2025, and in cities like San Francisco, New York, and Los Angeles, homelessness has become as much a part of the urban landscape as overpriced coffee shops and scooters abandoned on sidewalks. More than 500,000 people in America are unhoused on any given night. Families sleep in cars, veterans panhandle under freeway overpasses, and the so-called American dream looks like a cruel joke to anyone staring at it from inside a nylon tent. Take Los Angeles, for example. Skid Row has expanded beyond its historical borders and now sprawls across downtown blocks. People huddle together for safety at night, hoping the city won't clear out their belongings while they're gone. The promise of affordable housing has turned into a lottery ticket few ever win. Even in New York, the shelter system, once a model for emergency intervention, is now strained to the breaking point. Politicians make speeches, activists hold signs, billionaires launch rockets. Yet year after year, the numbers rise. Rent keeps climbing like it's auditioning for Cirque du Soleil, and mental health services are underfunded to the point of parody. Meanwhile, cities spend millions clearing encampments, only to see them spring back up like urban whack-a-mole. It's an endless loop of reaction instead of action, a carousel no one wants to ride. The human cost? Unthinkable. The financial cost? Astronomical. And the moral cost? Let's just say the ledger is deep in the red. Fixing homelessness sounds simple. Build homes, provide services, get people off the streets. But then you run into reality. Zoning laws make affordable housing projects harder to approve than a Marvel movie without CGI. NIMBY protests turn neighborhood meetings into cage matches. And mental health crises often leave people cycling between hospitals, jail cells, and sidewalks, while bureaucracy clogs up every attempt at real reform. Let's not forget the political theater. Gavin Newsom, California's governor, has poured billions into programs like Project Homekey, but still faces cities where tents outnumber trees. His critics say he's throwing money into a black hole, while his defenders argue he's fighting an impossible war. Elon Musk, the eternal disruptor, insists that technology can fix anything, even if his focus usually veers toward Mars rather than Main Street. He once joked about building tiny homes out of Starship parts, and people weren't sure whether to laugh or send blueprints. And Donald Trump, never one to shy away from a culture war, frames homelessness as a symptom of failed Democrat cities, while proposing solutions that range from military intervention to cleaning up the streets. Each brings influence, each brings controversy, and none has cracked the code. Because the truth is, homelessness is not one problem. It's a tangled knot of housing, addiction, mental health, wages, and policy inertia. So what if AI took the wheel? Let's imagine Phase 1, 0 to 6 months, urgent action. AI starts by mapping every unhoused individual using anonymized data from shelters, hospitals, and social services. Predictive algorithms identify those at highest risk of chronic homelessness. A dynamic resource allocation system, think DoorDash for social workers, deploys mental health professionals, case managers, and outreach teams exactly where they're needed. Emergency micro-shelters pop up in underutilized spaces like vacant malls and office buildings, optimized for speed and cost using generative design. Even the distribution of blankets and food is coordinated by AI to eliminate waste and ensure no one falls through the cracks. The system even predicts encampment patterns to provide aid before people are forced back onto streets. Phase 2, 6 to 18 months, the rollout. AI-driven urban planning tools cut through red tape on affordable housing projects. Zoning models simulate thousands of scenarios to find win-win solutions that appease NIMBY neighbors while increasing density. Smart contracts on blockchain ensure funds for housing initiatives don't mysteriously vanish into administrative costs. Gavin Newsom, with his flair for ambitious programs, is invited to oversee statewide implementation, this time armed with AI dashboards that measure progress in real time. City leaders who previously blamed each other are now held to account by cold, hard data. Meanwhile, Elon Musk gets recruited to apply his engineering brainpower, not for another Hyperloop, but to create modular, sustainable housing units that can be 3D printed at scale. He even names them Musk Huts and insists they'll be solar-powered and Wi-Fi enabled. Surely if he can land rockets, he can land affordable housing. Phase 3, 2 to 5 years. Stabilization and measurable impact. By year 5, cities see homelessness drop by 80%. AI predicts economic downturns before they hit, deploying preventative measures to keep people in their homes. Mental health support is embedded into primary care systems, driven by conversational AI therapists that flag at-risk individuals for human follow-up. Housing no longer feels like an unattainable luxury. It becomes an algorithmically optimized right. Donald Trump? Well, he's offered a role too, as an ambassador for federal coordination, but only if he agrees to let AI fact-check his speeches in real time. Of course, not everyone's cheering. Privacy advocates worry about surveillance creep. What starts as compassionate tracking of vulnerable people could morph into Big Brother monitoring everyone. And AI bias? If the algorithms are trained on skewed data, they could perpetuate the same injustices they're meant to fix. Imagine an algorithm accidentally flagging someone as low priority because they're too quiet or undocumented. There's also political sabotage. Imagine a governor or president pulling the plug on AI systems because they don't like what the data shows. Or tech billionaires treating homelessness as a PR project, only to get bored and wander off to the next shiny thing. And then there's the tech backlash. Activists spray painting no robo-shelters on city walls, claiming AI is just another way to dehumanize the poor. But here's the difference. AI can flag these risks in advance. A citizen oversight board, randomly selected like jury duty, reviews AI decisions. Open source models ensure transparency, and humans remain in charge of all moral calls. After all, empathy isn't something you can code, yet. Picture this: cities where no one sleeps on sidewalks, where technology doesn't just serve advertisers but actually serves people, where politicians and billionaires are forced to play nice because an unflinching AI holds everyone accountable, where data becomes a tool for justice instead of a weapon for profit. Would you live in that world? Or are we too cynical to believe it's possible? Maybe AI can't fix homelessness alone, but here's the thing, neither can we. So if this vision makes sense to you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We're building something smarter, together.